we have a problem with who is really British, who is really an American, who is really French, who is really German. That's the thing that nobody wants to talk about publicly. If you say everybody can be everything, then we are all nothing. That's unacceptable. We have to define who we are. Now, that may not be exactly the same as what we've been for hundreds of years, but we need to do it. And we need to take care of the people who are us. Every government needs to provide for shelter, food, and security. That's what we expect our governments to do. When they don't do that, we should get rid of them. Your government is not providing adequate shelter, protection, and food for its own people. And that's the problem. Instead, they're condemning your people. They're treating their own people with contempt. We treat Americans with contempt here. And we open the gates and we threw it open under Biden and let millions of people in this country that we can't afford, who did not come here to become Americans, who are never going to be like us. So how do we recreate social cohesion? How do we build unity? How do we go back to being real countries? I think that's what's going on all over Europe. That's the explosion. That's the revolution. When that is settled, everything else will fall into place. And I don't know where we turn, because the people I look at on the political spectrum, George, there's nobody like you out there. You know, Andrew Jackson, someone else of Scottish ancestry, once said, one man with courage makes a majority. You've always been a man with courage. Where are the men of courage in British politics? Where are they in American politics? I mean, I got to be frank with you. I look at the people that are standing up in front of the microphone over there in Switzerland, and I get sick to my stomach. Who are we kidding? Who are these people? They're cream puffs. Where are the men in the room who are going to take a firm stand and get something done? And you know as well as I do, you don't negotiate anything in public. You do it all privately. When did the French Revolution really break out? They'd had several rebellions in the preceding 30 or 40 years, but when did the revolution break out? When people in France, in Paris, could not afford to buy bread. I think we have to go back to the people who currently control policy making in Washington. And you're talking about the billionaires that really constitute the power behind the Israel lobby. Everybody thinks in terms of, the Israelis are over here lobbying. No, they don't have to lobby for anything. They're co-religionists here who have billions of dollars. They do that. And they have, over the last 30 to 40 years, I mean, obviously this has always been there, but in the last 30 to 40 years, I think they have invested very heavily in the careers of politicians, to the point where no politician in Washington right now is going to fail to perform for them. And again, in the past, I think politicians thought, well, it doesn't really matter. You know, nobody really cares about the Palestinians. Nobody cares how many of them die. Nobody cares how many people are killed in Lebanon. Well, now it's gotten larger. It's gotten broader. And we're at the end of this 25-year sojourn in the Middle East that has gotten us nowhere, that's cost us trillions of dollars and harmed our economy. And we have lots of injured, wounded, destroyed lives as a result. It's beginning to have an impact. And Americans are saying, wait a minute, why? Why are you not focused here at home? But again, until gasoline becomes prohibitively expensive, until food doesn't show up on the shelf, till the things you're accustomed to are not there, they're not going to get angry enough to do anything. I hate to be frank, but that's my prognosis.